Hello and welcome to the POTcast, episode 1. Today we will be discussing the history and importance of cannabis in the United States. First of all, though, I would like to explain the importance of marijuana to me, how important that shit is to me. Actually, first of all, I just want to say that this is my first session, and as I was getting ready for it, getting my glass of water and preparing my notes and shit, I started shitting myself. Like, I don't know, I felt the urge, and then all of a sudden I just couldn't stop it. So here I am. About 2 hours after the fact, after I wanted to be started up, with a clean butthole. I've got a clean butthole now. So, that being said, I'm getting a bowl loaded here. I don't know if this fucking app tells you exactly the location of where I am. But I can tell you this, that Delta 9 THC is not legal where I'm at, so I'm using Delta 8. My name is Rhaanon Havoc, and this is the POTcast. The only podcast that is recorded outside of my house. Yes, outside of my house, because my girlfriend's inside watching a movie and said that I couldn't do it inside. Just kidding. She didn't say that. She actually asked me why I'm not doing it inside, and I said because I can hear the TV. And it's true, you could hear the TV. I did a few test runs. Anyway, I don't remember what this is called, but it's Delta 8 THC, so it's not like it actually matters the strain. Delta 8 bud is always just fucking hemp flowers sprayed down with Delta 8 THC. Anyway, I was planning on having a co-host tonight, but shit went a little stupid on that aspect. But next week I will have a co-host, so maybe this fucking cast won't suck so bad. God, I bet you can hear all that ambiance between my fucking air conditioner running and the fucking crickets and my fucking neighbor's truck. God damn. Don't you assholes know that there are people recording fucking podcasts at 1 in the morning? It's Friday night. I have no fucks to give. Welcome to the POTcast, episode 1. Now, marijuana to me is it's not just a drug, it's not just a flower, it's not... Oh god, that was a train, not a truck. It's not just an escape for me, it's a fucking medicine. It's a medicinal thing. It helps with my body pain, it helps with my focus, or my lack thereof, rather. So marijuana, in and of itself, is important to me because it helps me function as a normal human being in this society. That being said, take a rip off the old piper. We'll do a really quick Google search of when was marijuana criminalized? Okay. So, History.com says, and that's, I believe, the History Channel, even though there was no evidence to support claims that marijuana had a Jekyll and Hyde effect, 29 states outlawed marijuana between 1916 and 1931. The Marijuana Tax Act of 1937 essentially banned it nationwide, despite objections from the American Medical Association related to medical usage. Okay, so what that doesn't explain is what started that, and it wasn't just the whole Jekyll and Hyde thing, you know, it makes you a different person. No, what it was Richard Nixon wanted a reason to put away people of color and hippies, and basically just anybody who wasn't for the war on drugs. You know, there wasn't really a war on drugs, it was a war on being black, essentially, or being of an ethnic group other than white. So that being said, campaigns were being ran that stated untrue facts about how marijuana makes the Mexicans lazy, or marijuana makes your white wives sleep with black men, or shit like that. You know, just crazy, outlandish fucking claims that just made no sense and weren't true. So basically, the war on drugs is racist. So cannabis in and of itself, not just marijuana. Marijuana refers to the kind of cannabis that gets you high, whereas cannabis refers to hemp and marijuana. Okay, because they both have the same genus. Right? So all these fucking white dudes in Congress are like, yeah, that's a good idea, Nixon, yeah. And then the Reefer Madness campaign started. Not only does it make us do this, it also makes you crazy, you know, like. So the fact that marijuana was ever banned in the first place was solely based on racism. It was just a reason to make being black illegal, you know, because they couldn't make being black illegal, or being Mexican illegal, or being a hippie illegal. But they could make the thing that we all had in common illegal, which was the fact that we all smoked pot. So before that, marijuana was legal for recreational use, for medical use. I mean, shit, it was in basically every bottle of cough syrup up until that fucking point. Up until like the 1920s or so. Let's see, then there was before that, man, the original American flag is made from hemp, which is cannabis. Okay, so cannabis was used for textiles, you know, in place of cotton, which cannabis per acre produces like 9 times as much fucking pulp as trees do, which basically means we could produce 9 times as much paper from an acre of marijuana than we could from an acre of trees. So the importance of marijuana and hemp to the US goes way deeper than what most people actually realize, because it used to be the biggest cash crop other than tobacco. We used to trade it all the time for like opium to make our fucking morphine, which morphine was replaced with heroin later on because we realized that heroin was stronger than morphine and cheaper to make, which was then also criminalized by Ronald Reagan, I believe, who also provided crack cocaine to the fucking ghettos and fucking sent all these cops out to fucking bust the crack dealers that he was providing the crack for. So these cops basically forgot to fucking turn around and bust the biggest crack dealer that there was, and that was Ronald Reagan. Now, I know I'm all over the place, but that's how I go. That's how the show's ran. Fuck you, fuck me, fuck everyone, right? It's okay. Please, please, please keep listening, because I have a point to all this, and it's the war on drugs is racist. I know I've said that. So yeah, the American flag originally was made from hemp. Dollar bills, I believe, still use hemp. I believe they still use hemp to print those. I could be wrong. I don't know what kind of weed this is, but it's some kind of purple. It's pretty good. It tastes pretty good. Really, really dark purple, but not quite Vader OG. Anyway, man, I'm thinking, you know, like, I'm learning this shit in high school, you know, so I'm thinking, like, wow, that's really fucked up. Like, I'm thinking about all my black friends and all my fucking Mexican friends, and I'm like, man, I couldn't imagine, you know, like, imagine if it was illegal just to be you. You know, that's all I'm trying to say there. Like, could you imagine that? Because I fucking couldn't. And basically, it is illegal for me to be me, because I'm a hippie. That's actually my my tag on Twitch is the Hippie Games, the Hippie Gaming. Sorry, the Hippie Games is on YouTube. That's me on YouTube. So I've been using marijuana for a decade now, actually, since I was 13 years old. And the reason I started using it was because I heard that it can relieve anxiety. Now, this was around the time that Colorado was legalizing it recreationally. So we're talking years and years and years of actual medicinal research of marijuana being done, and I was getting this information from, like, an actual website that, like, was pro-cannabis and also was a college website. I don't remember. I could be wrong. But, yeah, man, marijuana has a lot of medicinal uses. I started using it for its medicinal uses and realized that I like the feeling that it gives me, because it helps me feel less like an alien. It helps me feel like I actually belong here, you know. I dissociate a lot because of my ADHD, so, like, it helps me not dissociate as much. It helps me basically stay in my body. Whereas a lot of people, it actually makes them dissociate. Like, it just depends on the person, you know, like, certain people actually have the proper reaction to THC, which is the happy, upbeat feeling, and some people actually freak out every time because it is mildly hallucinogenic. And we all know what hallucinogens do to people who can't handle them. So, like I said, marijuana is not for everybody. But it is an important part of our society today, because it helps. We need more renewable energy. Well, there it is, man. Marijuana. We can fucking plant it everywhere. We could use marijuana instead of grass, and it would produce so much more oxygen. It would produce so much more fucking paper, toilet paper. We wouldn't have fucking... You can make every single fucking fluid to run a car from hemp. I'm fucking serious. Look it up. It takes like 5 seconds of research. They have fueled a car completely on marijuana before. I've seen the article. I don't remember I don't remember if it was Vice or if it was somebody else that, like, you know. But it's easy to fucking Snopes that shit. God, I'm all over the place. I'm a fucking mess. Welcome to the POTcast. I'm your permanent host, Rhaanon Havoc. Those who decide that they're gonna keep listening, man, I'm sorry. Yeah. So, from the time that I was 13 to now, I have probably smoked 1,000 different strains, okay? Each one gives you a different effect, and as I said before, it depends on the person. For me, sativas help me articulate better. They help me. They make me funnier. At least I think I am. But no, for real. When I'm on sativas, I crack a lot of jokes, and they're like really quick. I'm really quick-witted when I'm on sativa. But whenever I'm on an indica, I get a very, very, like, I want to write stuff down and express my ideas and, like, build something and create something. I have very high creativity whenever I'm on indica versus sativa. They affect me differently than what they do most people because of my ADHD. It's a fucking weird chemical imbalance in my brain that fucking doesn't quite let some of the neurons fucking, do the thing. God damn it. There are synapses that misfire in my brain because of my mental disorders, but it's okay. I try to treat them as best as I can. Also, if you have body pain and shit, like, you can just take CBD, which comes from hemp. Actually, CBD you can find it in all strains of cannabis, but it's more prominent in hemp and indica dominant strains. See, marijuana was originally smoked just like tobacco by the Native Americans, or, well, just the natives in general. It grew everywhere. It came from Afghanistan, if I remember correctly. If I remember correctly, marijuana originates in Afghanistan, which is why some of your Afghan strains are extremely strong and extremely fucking potent. They were indica-based, and I believe there was also a different strain there that was a sativa-based strain, or maybe it was in a completely different part. But when we realized that these were the same plant, but they were kind of different, we realized we should try to smoke them. Actually, there are very, very old documents that mention using cannabis to get stoned, or to, shamans and shit used it for medicinal purposes because it was considered a healing herb. I think so too, like when I'm feeling really, really bad, I light that bowl, I feel my soul starting to heal because, like, I don't feel so angry, or I'm able to let go of things. It's not necessarily to run away from them, it's just to let go of these things, these negative thoughts and this extreme tension that I have from the day or the week. I don't smoke daily, but if I did, it would be because I have a very stressful fucking time. So we will be podcasting every Friday night, and next, like I said, next week, my friend Barrett the Duck God will be co-hosting, and hopefully he'll be my permanent co-host. I've known him for like 3 years longer than I've been smoking weed. I was still in Boy Scouts when I started smoking. Should I say ingesting? Should I say ingesting cannabis? Because sometimes I do eat it. Who am I talking to? Probably nobody. Ain't nobody gonna listen to a show called The POTcast. Man, what am I fucking thinking? Oh well. Hope you guys enjoy this shit, because I am not enjoying it at all. Let's see here. I did a live stream a few months ago on Twitch, probably last year. About the history of human use of cannabis. This is from sydney.edu.au, so thank you to the University of Sydney for portions of what I am about to read. The use of cannabis originated in Central Asia or Western China. Cannabis has been used for its alleged healing properties for millennia. See, like I said, healing properties, man. Okay, so would this shit goes all the way back to 2800 BC. 2800 BC, cannabis was listed in Emperor Shennung's pharmacopoeia. So, Shennung, I have no idea who that guy is. He was obviously an emperor of China at some point. Hindu legend holds that Shiva was given the title the Lord of Bhang because the cannabis plant was his favorite food. It does not give a year for that, it just says BC. Galen used cannabis for its therapeutic properties and mood enhancement. Aha, so see, that's 129 to 200 AD. I have no idea who Galen is. Who the fuck is that? So the thing about THC is that it acts on the hypothalamus to reduce body temperature. So if you want to stay cool, man, smoke some fucking bud, right? In 1936, the film Reefer Madness was released, demonizing cannabis as a highly addictive drug that caused mental disorder and violence. You know, honestly, I love watching that movie because it's hilarious. Like, it wasn't supposed to be hilarious, but, like, it absolutely was. Okay, so this is this is from science.org. A team led by archaeologists Yang Yimin and Ren Meng of the Chinese Academy of Sciences in Beijing reports clear physical evidence that mourners burn cannabis for its intoxicating fumes on a remote mountain plateau in Central Asia some 2,500 years ago. So, basically they're saying, some fucking mountain people were smoking pot to get high. And that's fucking amazing. Oh god, there's a fucking cicada. There's a cicada out here and one of my cats is trying to get it. CBD was first isolated from marijuana in 1940. That's amazing. And its structure was reported in 1963. Wow, that's really cool. That's from science.org. Okay, I think. Whatever. Anyway, cannabis has a really interesting and long history. You know, like people have been using it to get high for thousands and thousands of years. And I believe cavemen might have fucking done that too, you know, and that's why maybe we fucking... You got it? Will you kill it already? Just eat it, bro. Stop letting it suffer and eat it. Dude, for real? Mittens. Eat it. Whatever, man. This cat's fucking awesome. She's a killer. I wish you guys could see this right now. She's really just attacking this fucking cicada, and it's suffering, and like she's just like, I'm gonna play with it. Will you just eat it? I don't know, maybe it would make some of you sad, but it's definitely making me go, what the fuck? Please buy our weed for us. Send us your money so we can spend it on weed. I'm just kidding. Actually, what we're gonna spend it on is, for the first 5 episodes, is a memorial to our deceased friend, rest his soul, Ethan Pratt. He died 7 years ago. He was 15 years old. It was a very tragic death. He unalived himself. We were really close, man. Me and him were actually like partners in crime. Like we told each other everything, you know. We smoked a lot of weed together and like drank a little bit together. It wasn't a little bit. We drank a lot together. We were teenagers. I do not support the underage use of alcohol. I don't care what anybody says. Only use cannabis if it is legal and safe for you to do so. Cannabis is meant for adults over the age of 18 or 21, depending on where you're at, or medical patients, depending on where you're at. So, cannabis is my favorite plant because it has so many different things that you can do with it. Like if you take the leaves from a pot plant that you're trimming and put them in your salad, like chop them up into your salad, that adds like a shitload of antioxidants, like vitamin fucking what the fuck ever, B2 and B12 and shit, like vitamin E and whatnot. Like it has a lot of different vitamins in it, a lot of different amazing antioxidants. Like I said, this plant is very important to our development as a society. I believe if we used it more, then we would have much more efficient ways to harvest fuels and to save the earth. Maybe it'll even start patching holes in the fucking ozone layer, you know? Who fucking knows, man? Who fucking knows? Like, that shit can grow anywhere. They should, hey, you know what? Elon Musk, you should try growing pot on Mars. That would be amazing. If you can grow pot on Mars, you can terraform it easily. It'll make the soil much more fertile. It'll put nitrogen in it. Hemp puts nitrogen in the soil, more nitrogen into the soil, and it grows anywhere. Like it literally will make your farms much more fertile. So like instead of not planting something 1 year, plant pot there on your 4 fucking plots. There's a lot of farmers that do the oh god, I can't remember what the method is called, but they have 4 plots, right? And 1 plot each year has nothing planted there. Like they let the plant that's there die. so that it's fertile. They should use hemp for that, because whether the plant dies or not, it puts more nitrogen into the soil. It's not just hemp, it's cannabis in general. This is a very serious podcast about nothing. Just kidding, it's about pot. And you know what? I will stand up for everybody's right to smoke pot. If it is illegal for you to use pot, then I recommend you fight harder for it to be legalized where you're at. Because that's bullshit. I believe they should legalize it. I found out today that Kansas won. We were going to make an amendment to our state constitution that banned all abortions, no matter the circumstance, and it didn't pass. And I'm really proud of Kansas for that. This is like, I'm not liberal and I'm not fucking conservative. I'm somewhere in between, but I'm not, like, I don't affiliate with a party. How about that? I just believe in popular sovereignty. I believe that people should have the right to choose their rights. But that doesn't mean, you know, people should have the right to, like, hurt other people. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for violence in our society today. We could all just be living peacefully if we would all just recognize that we are just the universe experiencing itself, man, you know? Everybody who has a conscience is just the universe experiencing itself. Alright, I got myself a cigarette here. Sorry, we had to stop. I fucking don't know what... Oh shit, hold on. Alright, still figuring this app out. This podcast will also be on YouTube. And segments of it will possibly be posted on the Hippie Games Facebook. So, like, what the fuck was I talking about? I forgot because I went and got a cigarette, and then I didn't realize how this app worked. Welcome to the POTcast, episode 1. I'm your permanent host, Rhaanon Havoc. Boy, do I feel sorry for all the fans who became fans right away. This show will be on every Friday night. Possibly between the hours of 10 p.m. and like 3 a.m. Oh, Mittens. I'm joined by my co-host, Mittens. She's a good kitty. Kinda. I mean, she likes fucking torturing bugs. But let me tell you, now this story has some fucking gore in it, so just be warned there. It's animal on animal violence. So one time we had a really bad mouse infestation, and we had just gotten this cat like the week before. And these mice had gotten into the dog food that we had, and they built a nest in there, so there was just like a whole family of mice all up in this fucking thing of dog food, and they couldn't get out of it. And I opened up, like, I heard the mice, I could hear them, you know. I looked in to the fucking closet, and I shined the flashlight in there, and I saw inside of this clear plastic bin were all these little fucking mice just huddled up in a corner to keep warm, and I'm like, mittens. And so fucking this cat comes up, and I'm like, I've got this lid in front of the fucking like doorway to keep her out of it, and I was like, alright, get him. And she fucking hops up into this fucking plastic tote, and I'm recording it. I have a video of it on this phone, actually. And she is just fucking munching on these goddamn mice. Just straight up fucking just nom, 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 nom. And they're all fucking trying to run away and shit. And they can't fucking get out of the fucking... You just scratched my foot. My foot's not a bug, meow. And she fucking just kept munching on these motherfuckers, dude. And I had to throw away that dog food because of all the blood and the piss, but like, holy shit. That cat ate like fucking 20 mice in like one fucking sitting, man. I was like, damn, are you starving? It was amazing. She was an outside cat before we got her. She belongs to, she did belong to a friend who recently passed away. Unfortunately, it was an overdose that killed her, and I hate that. I hate the fuck out of that. Drugs are fucking bad, okay? Okay? Drugs are bad, okay? No, seriously though, don't fuck around with fentanyl, heroin, meth, or cocaine, or anything like that. Don't trust white powders, man. Just don't trust white powders, or any fucking powders for that matter. Because that shit's fucking terrible. You know, anything can have fentanyl in it these days. You know, like if your weed tastes like burnt popcorn or like buttered popcorn, quit smoking it. It has fentanyl in it. I had an ounce of weed one time that tasted just like fucking popcorn. I took a couple hits off of it. I was like, what the fuck is that? You know, this was before I knew the fact that it was fentanyl that fucking makes your weed taste like that. And I was like, huh. And then it made me like really, really, really high. I had no idea what the fuck, you know, was going on. I was just really, really, really high. Like, it didn't feel like a weed high either. Like, it just felt like, whoa. You know, like when you eat too many fucking painkillers and you're like, which I don't support that. But, you know, like, if you do that, then you know what I'm talking about. So I was like, hey, homie, taste this. Tell me, you know, don't inhale it, just taste it. And I don't remember which friend it was. But they were like, okay. And they tasted it. They're like, I said, now inhale just a little bit of it. So this friend did. I don't remember who it was, so I'm just gonna, you know, not assume their gender. And they were like, whoa. I was like, yeah. Like, it was weed, it wasn't K2, you know, like, it was obviously weed because, you know, it was buds on stems, but, like, there was something funny going on, and I didn't share the rest of that ounce, and, like, at any moment, I could have died from a fentanyl overdose. I didn't know that's what was going on, but that's what could have happened, and that scares the shit out of me. So anytime I hear about one of my friends doing drugs, it's like, wow. You know that shit could have had fentanyl in it, man? And any amount of that can kill you? It's true. Like, it depends on the person, but any amount of fentanyl can kill you. It also really doesn't depend on the person. It just depends on the circumstance. Any amount of fucking fentanyl can kill your ass, and it's crazy. That's what they put in fucking real K2 now. That's what they put in spice now, is fentanyl and things like fentanyl. I bought some K2 one time that was laced with heroin. It was heroin based. It was fucking... It tasted really good. Like, I think it was just opium, honestly. Because, like, I don't think heroin has... I don't think heroin would taste like that. I wouldn't know. I've never fucking smoked or shot up heroin. So, like... Well, I guess apparently I have, but who knows what was actually in it. Nobody can actually tell you what's in it except for the person that made it, and I don't really trust dealers in this town. I live in a really small town in Kansas, and it's like, wow, man, you're a really shady person, and I don't fucking like that. Like, what is this? Fucking Wichita? Fucking Chicago? Fucking Detroit? Like, what the fuck, man? You're way too shady for what you do. You just sell weed. Why are you trying to rip people off over $10? I guess we're going to talk about the importance of treating your fucking clients like people or whatever. Would you just eat it? Just eat the cicada. Please. I don't like hearing things suffer. I do regularly use psychedelics. Well, maybe not regularly. I shouldn't say regularly. I should say I use them for spiritual purposes. And the other day I was tripping on some mushrooms, which I had fallen asleep after I ate them because I was really, really stoned. And I woke up like fucking 2 hours later just tripping balls, man. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Whoa. And it was okay, like, I was just like, oh my god, I'm fucking tripping balls. Did I eat something funny? Oh yeah, I ate mushrooms. Yeah, I'm okay now. And I thought somebody like had drugged me in my sleep or something, because I was tripping and I was really confused. Yeah. Now, what were we talking about? Drugs being bad. My time on mushrooms. Like, fucking literally the other day, like fucking 3 or 4 days ago. This cicada had come into the house and it was just laying on the floor dying. Like, I could tell it was dying because it was just like kind of half-ass spinning around and it was suffering. And I just thought, man, I really hate watching things suffer. So I killed the cicada. Put it out of its misery. And I don't know, I felt really... The psychedelic experience wasn't quite ruined by it, but it was like, wow, that's still hard to do, whether it's a bug, a cat, or a person. So, like, if you can come away from, like, war and still be fine, like, completely fine with yourself, you're a fucking monster, bro. Ew, I got ashes in my throat. Before you say it, I know, use a screen, but my girlfriend won't let me put a screen in her pipe. Fucking, I'm a parent of 2. I believe that marijuana makes me a better parent. I have a hard time hitting my kids to discipline them. Occasionally they're bad enough that I'm like, okay, I'll give you the old DCF approved one swat above the pants. But then I still feel bad for it, but I don't show them that I feel bad for it because, like they did something that was so wrong that I felt like they needed to have just a little bit of guidance there that was more than, hey, you can't do that. Because after like the 4th time that I've said, hey, you can't do that, they've pushed their limit and there's nothing else that I can do other than that. And then they understand, because it's usually something that could hurt them or hurt somebody else. Now, if it's like drawing on the walls, I'm just like, hey, man, you're gonna clean that off. Or you're gonna help me clean it off. My kids are, my oldest, he is 2. Or, no, he is 6, I mean, fuck. My oldest is 6. And my youngest, she is 2. And she is the brattiest 2-year-old I've ever met. My son is a huge dinosaur fanatic. I believe he may have autism spectrum disorder. But he loves dinosaurs, and so like I know quite a bit about dinosaurs now because of him. He reminds me a lot of me when I was a child, so he's probably going to end up loving cannabis too. But I'm not going to try to influence that the way that I've heard a lot of parents do in this town. I'm just going to say, if that's something that you want to do, I'd rather you come to me, so I can, so I know that, you know, what you're smoking or, you know, even eating is safe. I'm going to give them the same warning that I have given you guys, you people, you lovely people. Don't trust white powders because they could have a shitload of fentanyl in them. And even if it's not a shitload of fentanyl, it could still be, you know, enough to kill you. And that's really the unfortunate thing about drugs these days, is you never know what's in them and you never know fucking who's had them. The more hands that it goes through, the more likely it is to get stepped on, and that's unfortunate, especially for people in small towns who like to do drugs. Like I said, I like to do psychedelics and shit, so like, you know, I use test strips when I have LSD. I get an extra tab so that I can test it before I take it. Test it for strychnine, test it for all kinds of shit. You know, the fucking things that are terrible for you. A lot of the shit that comes around here, though, is just LSA mixed with amphetamines, you know, because LSA is a downer versus LSD, which is a natural upper, which I've had real LSD before, and let me fucking tell you, man, that shit is intense and fucking crazy. It came on this, like, Listerine strips, and it sent my boyfriend into a fucking loop that I almost couldn't get him out of. Man, it scared the shit out of me, but, like, I told him to let me dose, and he didn't listen to me. Oh, it was funny. I mean, it wasn't funny, but it's funny now because, like, you know, let me dose. I kept saying to him, let me dose. And he didn't listen, so I'm freaking out. My girlfriend's like, what the fuck's going on, man? And I'm like, I don't fucking know what's wrong with him, you know, like, he's fucking stuck in a loop and he's not coming out of it. I'm really fucking scared. And when he finally came out of it, I was like, oh my god, you scared the shit out of me, man. Please don't ever do that again. Next time, please let me dose. He is a sweet boy. He is a very, very sweet boy. He may be joining me on the show someday. Oh, fuck. I have a condition in my spine called kyphosis, or hunchback syndrome. And with my history of LSD use, I mean, I did a lot, man. Like, I did it Beatles style. I did a lot of fucking acid. And it deposits into your spinal cord, into your spinal fluid. So I've fucking developed this thing with my hunchback where every time it pops, I trip a little bit. It's like microdosing. Sometimes, like when it's a really good pop, like just now though, I trip balls for a couple of hours, and I think that's what's gonna happen. Actually, I'm fucking like starting to really hallucinate, and it's pretty cool. It's not like super like intense, like taking a few fucking tabs, but it's like, wow, there's tracers and the walls are fucking going, and I'm like, yeah. enhances my mood. It also, like, makes my back feel better. So, you know, it's a win-win situation for me. Trips to the chiropractor are very fun for me. I cannot drive home, so I walk home from them. Because driving while you're tripping that hard is a scary thing to do. Am I over the line? I don't know, but it's fucking creeping over to my side of the road. Being on psychedelics is quite an experience, man. It feels like you're very close to what they call God. I'm not a huge believer. I actually believe in your spirit. I believe that your soul is recycled through. Basically, it's like karma and dharma, but it's like, you know, how it's basically the same thing. How you live your life is how you reincarnate. Like, I love my fucking life, and I try to do the best that I can for everything and everyone, you know. I actually walk around parks and pick them up. Like, I pick up trash in parks, and I pick up trash at the dam, and all kinds of fun things, you know. Hippie things. I like smoking weed and picking up trash at fucking public places. I like doing that kind of shit. I like volunteering. I don't even volunteer. I just fucking go. You literally don't have to volunteer to just pick up trash. And, like, you know, it costs nothing to clean up after yourself and after others. I mean, it sucks to have to clean up after others, but, like, if enough people start doing it, then, like, there'll be a lot of people who follow by example and fucking actually do it. Like, when I'm at a gas station or something, I spend an extra, like, 10-15 minutes cleaning up the parking lot just because. Like, I spend a lot of time at the gas station, you know, because they're also convenience stores. Fucking pothead. But I'm really good friends with a lot of the people who work there, and, like, I just do my best to help them out, even though it doesn't benefit me in the fucking slightest. I do my best to help everybody out, whether it benefits me or not, and I think that is what being human is about. I mean, Ram Dass teaches us that we are the soul, and the soul loves everything. Not just everyone, but everything. That's almost the direct quote. I'm just trying to paraphrase, but that's pretty much the gist of what he said, was that the state of being is knowing that we are the soul, and knowing that the soul loves everything. It was during a lecture on dark thoughts. He says to love your dark thoughts, but to also let them pass, just like all your other thoughts. And I think that's beautiful. I think that's really beautiful, because I do have a lot of dark thoughts as a person. You know, I think everybody does. I think everybody has thoughts of violence. I think that's just kind of a natural, like, thing that happens, even though it's not right. I don't think it's right, but I do think it's a natural reaction in our brain. We are hunters and gatherers by nature, and I believe that most of the human race experiences these feelings of violence. But the thing is we're taught to hate that kind of stuff. We're taught to hate those thoughts, and I think that we should embrace those thoughts but not act on them. I think we should understand each other a little better than what we do now. Welcome to the POTcast, episode 1, where I pick a topic and don't stick to it. Sorry, sorry, let me try that again. Welcome to the POTcast, where Rhaanon Havoc picks a topic and doesn't stick to it. This is, oh gosh, I'm so used to live streaming. This is, This is meant to be kind of a relaxing thing to like listen to. I don't know, man. Like, who doesn't like listening to people smoke pot? Oh no, I only have 5 minutes left. Well, that being said, thank you everybody so much for listening. We'll see you next week on the POTcast, where my co-host will be here, and we will have fucking better topics and probably try to stick to them. Peace and love, everybody. Be good to each other. POTcast, Dunsky.